Welcome back, everyone, to another episode of Blind Boys Politics. Nicholas Rod, Chris Baker here with you on this Monday morning with another episode and another round of news. Chris, start us off, as we always do, with some good old weather.
In Los Angeles, California, it's partly cloudy and 64. In Houston, Texas, it is partly cloudy and 84. In Chicago, Illinois, it is partly cloudy and 73. And in New York City, it's sunny and 61.
Woo, nice all around.
So partly cloudy everywhere besides New York City.
It's nice, though, because, it feels like when we've been doing the episodes lately, New York City has just been rain and more rain and more
It's
rain.
great for the grass, okay?
Yeah, I mean, fair enough. And we definitely need it after the type of year we had last year. But geez.
It's beautiful for the grass for the old people like me to take care of their grass and cut it.
The old people like you. Yeah, okay, yeah, that's fair enough. I think we have established that you are an old person stuck in a young person's body.
It's true because I take more care of my lawn than I do anything else.
Yeah, I mean, we've discovered previously on this show that you're the master landscaper. So.
It's not like I stole stuff from work to work on my lawn today. That never happened at all.
Never.
No.
No.
And anybody the accusation of that is just purely wrong.
No evidence to back it up whatsoever.
Zero. Zip, zap, none.
But it sounds like you followed through on what you said you were going to do the other day as far as your weekend was concerned, as far as, getting your yard all prim and proper.
Yeah, I did that. And you know what else I did Friday night?
What did you do Friday night?
Ripped up the carpet in the office.
Someone was productive.
Gone. It's gone.
Didn't like the carpet?
Oh, it's so gone. I had it out of my house and in the dump before 11 a.m. this morning.
Jeez.
The padding, the tacks, the carpet, gone. See you later. Adios. Peace out.
So just hardwood now?
Yes.
All right.
Never been more happy.
Really didn't like that carpet, huh?
I liked it when it was a bedroom. When it came in office, not so much.
Yeah. I mean, I guess I can understand that. I don't know if I'd really want carpeting in an office either. It just kind of seems odd.
In puppy training, with carpet doesn't go well.
No. That sounds like it would actually go horribly.
So that was the top round to take. So you know what? I grabbed my carpet knife and I have a pretty, I don't want to say like it's a 40 by 40 office. I would say it's a 15 by 20 office. I had all the furniture out, carpet out, all the furniture back, like where everything belongs, in 3 hours. I was like,
Fast working.
I wasn't messing around.
Yeah, no, I wasn't quite as productive. The one thing I did do here on Saturday, the night we're recording this, is I started exercising again, finally.
Ew.
I missed it.
It's plenty of an exercise, ripping up carpet. Okay?
I'm sure. But I don't have too much to work with here. I have a 20-pound kettlebell here at my feet that I was using throughout the day, and my arms and legs are a little tired. Not gonna lie.
See, my form of working out is doing work around the house.
Hey, whatever works.
The most I do in a gym is run on the treadmill. Besides that, nothing.
I miss being able to lift. I miss being in the weight room. And I'd like to get back into it at some point. Right now, I just don't have much of an opportunity to do so. So it's kind of just trying to find an opportunity somewhere down the line. But we'll have to see. We'll have to see what happens.
You know what I think it is? It doesn't keep my attention span. As silly as that might sound, it does not keep my attention span. But on the other flip side of that, like, ripping up carpet, ripping up tack strips, like that type of stuff, that's quite the workout in itself.
Hmm.
Like, you might not think it is, but once you're in there and doing it, you're like, there was one point last night when I was on my final strip coming up, I was like, because I mean, it's relatively easy, but if
Hmm.
you're using muscles that you don't usually use,
Right, right.
and like that keeps my attention, but just standing there working out does not keep my attention. I'm like a puppy, I just wander off.
For me, lifting was always huge for me when before COVID-19 hit, and I was lifting every day at school. We'd have music playing in the background, and even if it wasn't music that I necessarily enjoyed, it kind of gave me something to just like keep moving with and all that. Not to mention when it came to lifting, especially towards the end before COVID hit, I was reaching new heights like all the time with it, new amounts of weight and all that. So I was just like really motivated to keep going with it.
You just lost my attention that whole time. Like, I was thinking about something else.
Mm. No, I love lifting. I've loved it since I started it a few years ago, and I miss it dearly.
Well, you know what you can miss dearly? You can miss that dearly while we talk about the talk of the
What do we have for
talk.
the
Okay.
talk of the talk? I kind of saw because in our show notes here that you write out for us, you put a very basic topic line for it, but it always leaves me very confused and wondering what what you have. So what do you have for us today?
Well, this is a different type of talk of the talk. Usually it's polls, studies, this, that, or anything else.
Sure.
I found this really interesting news story that's kind of comical, if you ask me.
Okay.
And I want to hear your take on this.
Oh dear. Oh no.
So there's this college student that is moving to a different state. She didn't want to live on campus, so she applied for an apartment. So you're new to the area, you don't know much about these apartments, just like anyone, you don't know everything.
Right.
Well, what she failed to overlook was it was a 55 plus community. So she got approved for the application. She moved in, started looking around, noticed there was all these older people. And she said she was pulling into the parking lot after going grocery shopping and saw the sign that says community 55 plus. Now this has gone viral. And she says she doesn't plan on moving out as long as they're not going to kick her out.
There you go.
She says, I love these people. They have the greatest advice and they have the best stories. So my question is, Nick, if you accidentally moved into a 55 plus community, would you stay there?
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. Again, it's kind of like this girl said. If they're not gonna kick her out, why move out? You can make friends in a community of people 55 plus. No reason why you can't. Would you stay? Would you? I mean, we've talked.
Absolutely.
I
I
was about
would
to say
have to stay.
we've talked about the fact that you're an old man, so
Like, I would be, in like the community area, just doing the puzzle with everyone, completely forgetting about my life responsibilities.
you're supposed to have a college class in 3 minutes, and you're sitting there doing a puzzle.
Oh crap, I got class in 3 minutes. Let me get on my wheelchair. Oh wait, I don't even need this.
They just gave it to me.
But she's on a month by month lease. She doesn't plan on moving out. And she accidentally moved in. My question is, how did she get past like the application? Did they really not look at the application?
Seriously, my thought is like either someone just really wasn't paying attention when approving that application, Or they just don't really care.
Did they mistake the 18 for 81? Common mistake.
Get a little backwards.
It's a common mistake.
Oh, of course. No, that's hilarious, though. Good on her for staying, though.
So if she's staying, I would be staying.
Oh, absolutely. No doubt in my
First of
mind.
all, some 55 plus communities, you get an excellent deal on rent and cha-ching in my pocket. And number two, I mean, who can refuse the late night puzzle sessions?
Maybe a group like movie night, only instead of a movie, it's Jeopardy.
Book club too.
Ah, yes.
Jeopardy. You know, Anderson Cooper was on Jeopardy, so I'm sure all the gals were watching Anderson Cooper on is it Anderson Cooper? Yeah, Anderson Cooper on Jeopardy.
Oh my god.
Just saying.
That's too funny though. I love that.
But
I
that's
accidentally move into a 55 plus community.
and don't even notice it like first moving in. You have to be
You
there
have to
for a
see
while
the
and
sign
notice
when
the sign.
parking one day. That's
Yeah.
amazing.
That would be me though. Be totally
Just
oblivious to the whole concept.
Take you like 2.5 months.
And see, the thing would be is I would think, like, do you realize I moved into a 55 plus community? And you would be like, you didn't know that?
I told you that before you even moved in, but does anyone listen? No.
Well, nevertheless, I think it's time to wrap the talk of the talk up. Me and Nick are staying in the 55 plus community. That's that. I'm kind of curious if anyone else would. You know, because
Yeah.
I feel like, I don't know. But it's gone viral. Everyone's talking about it. Nevertheless, Nick, let's get into a COVID update.
All right. So we start off, like Chris said, with a COVID-19 update. 20% of new cases across the country are coming from people under the age of 18. 13 states are currently on the rise in terms of their cases. There's a 10% drop in vaccination rate, and some places are even allowing walk-up shots. You wouldn't have to make an appointment ahead of time.
The Johnson & Johnson pause has been lifted, and the 10 million shots that was ready to be shipped out will now be starting to be shipped out again. And 15 people have gotten this rare brain blood clot, and they've been all women under the age of 50, and 3 have passed away and 7 have been hospitalized. Now, the vaccine will come with a warning label on it, unlike the Pfizer and Moderna vaccine.
Now, Chris, we have to have a bit of a conversation since we're talking about vaccinations and all of that. We need to have a bit of a conversation about vaccination cards and how people are buying vaccination cards and some problems surrounding that. So the vaccination card, if you don't know, is a card that you receive once you are fully vaccinated. Well, now the FBI is saying that people are printing out homemade vaccination cards, or even worse, buying fake ones online for about $10. If you didn't know, that's actually a crime. The vaccination card is meant for you to have a record of what kind of vaccine you received and the location in which you received it and the date for when you received it.
What you might not be aware of is that the card also has a government seal on it, meaning it's an official government document. The FBI is warning, do not buy fake vaccination cards, do not make your own fake vaccine card, and do not fill in blank vaccine cards with false information by misrepresenting yourself vaccinated when you enter a school, mass transit location, workplace gyms, or places of worship. Not only are you putting others at risk, but the FBI says unauthorized use of agency seals is a crime punishable by a fine of $5,000 or 5 years in prison, or even both in some cases.
The FBI is also warning people to not post a picture of their vaccination card, their real vaccine card, to social media, because your personal information is on that card and your identity could be stolen. But yeah, that's just a little information surrounding that. So don't buy these fake cards. Don't print your own, and don't post a picture of it, your real vaccine card, on social media. None of these things are good ideas. But that's all we have on that. We move forward.
So at some point last week or even this week, you're going to start seeing a bunch of level 4 do not travel advisories for a bunch of popular international travel destinations posted from the US State Department. Now, some destinations that we are talking about are Mexico, Canada, Aruba, and about 30 other countries that are on the list. And the list is expected to keep growing. Now, don't worry, this is not a new threat. The State Department just issued a statement saying the system they were using to classify safe for Americans to travel was not actually in sync with the CDC existing assessment for those very same countries. The US State Department categorizes these countries based on a 4-level system. Level 1 being the most lenient and exercise normal precautions, and all the way up to level 4 of do not travel.
Because of this reclassification, about 80% of international travel destinations will now have a level 4 do not travel warning. The U.S. State Department also says it strongly recommends citizens to avoid all travel abroad. You can find the travel advisory levels on travel.state.gov. And don't forget, if you do travel internationally, you will be required to show a negative COVID test before you re-enter the U.S., regardless of your vaccination record.
Now, there is some possible changes coming to the Defense Department and how they handle sexual harassment allegations. The day after Secretary Lloyd Austin was confirmed by the Senate, he formed a private commission to look into sexual harassment allegations that are involved in the military. Friday, Secretary Lloyd Austin said he is considering making the investigations done through a private sector. But once the commission is done in the 60 days it has left, he will look the report over and make his final decision off of the recommendations of the report.
Moving right along, there's some news about a shooting in New Orleans. At 1:16 a.m. Saturday morning, police got a call for shots fired on a very popular street in New Orleans, that being Bourbon Street. There were 5 injuries. 4 were transported to the hospital, and 1 was treated on scene. None of the victims seemed to have life-threatening injuries. A motive and suspect is still being worked on, and we will keep you updated as things unfold.
Now let's get into some rapid news. Caitlyn Jenner is running for California governor as a Republican.
President Biden's approval rating in young voters is at a record high.
President Biden's joint session of Congress, his very first, will be this Wednesday for a primetime address. So, Nick, tell us, what is the good news for this Monday morning?
All right. This story kind of blew me away. Back in December, these 2 4-year-old twin sisters had released star-shaped balloons with Christmas lists on them, to travel to the North Pole. Well, the mom had said that she just kind of expected them to blow off into the wind, maybe get stuck in a tree. However, That didn't exactly happen. They didn't make it to the North Pole, no. But they made it all the way to Louisiana. And one thing I must mention, and I should have mentioned before, is that these sisters came from Kansas. All right. And one of the balloons ended up in Louisiana. It was found by this man named Alvin, who took a look at the letter that was attached to it. And one of the sisters had asked for candy, a Spider-Man ball, a Frozen doll, a puppy, and a My Little Pony doll. And the other sister had asked for candy, stickers, flowers, earrings, and also a My Little Pony doll. Well, this man decided to post a picture of the list on Facebook, and eventually got in contact with the mom. Well, he then proceeded to send all of the gifts on both of these lists to their house in Kansas, besides the puppy. As far as the puppy is concerned, him and his wife bought a puppy and drove all the way from Louisiana to Kansas to deliver the puppy in person. Now, I just want to note a couple things about this. And I had to look this up because this was just astounding. So, the distance between the town in Kansas and the town in Louisiana where this all takes place, the distance is 649.7 miles. The drive is 10 hours, 7 minutes. So, not only did this balloon travel 649.7 miles, but this man and his wife drove over 10 hours to give a puppy to these two little girls.
You're joking, right?
Nope.
A balloon that was sent up in the night sky traveled over 600 miles. That, any Joe Schmo common, person would expect the balloon to get caught in a tree, and that's where it ended. This man finds it, puts it on Facebook, and sends all these presents to them, and drives 10 hours to deliver a puppy all over a balloon.
Yep. That's exactly what I'm telling you.
The balloon didn't get caught in a tree?
Evidently not.
It traveled 600 miles, and then he drives 10. Okay, I'm just like.
Now, there's a quote
You know
here.
what? I need to launch a balloon up in the sky. I'll be right back.
There's a quote here that I have to read from the man that found it. And he said, "The world has been bad this year. So if you can make just one person smile, trust me, not only will it help them, it will make you feel so much better." And that just, wow.
I'm like blown away right now.
Like I said, this story absolutely blew me away, especially when I looked up the distance between these two locations.
Wow. Okay. Well, that wraps up this Monday morning episode. I'm still a little mind blown here. Wow. Okay. But nevertheless, make sure you follow us on Blind Boys Politics Twitter account for the latest 24-hour breaking news. Make sure you follow us on our personal accounts to always see what we're up to. But until then, make sure you read all of their articles for topics that we don't get to discuss on the podcast. But until Wednesday morning for another dumb law, have a great start to your week. See you later.
Later, everyone.